Greetings, my Ghanaian sisters and brothers at home and abroad. My name is Kofi Koranting. I'm your independent choice for president on the 2024 ballot, and my message is clear, concise, viable, ready to take our nation into the future to create a new Ghana government. My underlying principles and policies use a science-based, data-driven, human-centered approach to bring a viable working government to our nation. Before I embarked on this undertaking, I thought long and hard about the faults of the current government, the two major parties, and how I and other like-minded individuals could create effective change for Ghanaians. Through hours of discussions with sisters and brothers at home and in the diaspora over the last 2 decades, I have formulated a blueprint to restructure the government of Ghana to serve its people. The purpose of this government is to serve the citizens. The government of Ghana has become a gang of con artists steeped in the corruption of money, power, and the riches of luxury. They have forgotten the people. As they drive in the motorcades from home to office, home to airport, home to resorts, they cannot see the faces of Ghana through the tinted windows of their fully nyanya luxury automobiles paid for by their hard-working citizens. The two parties, the NPP and NDC, have joined at the wallet, have treated the sanctity and power of Parliament as if it's an ATM machine that only dispenses withdrawals into their pockets. Brothers and sisters, this must end in 2024. Along with concerned citizens from all levels of society, I have developed a plan that focuses on creating a living, working partnership between the governed and the government. It is a dynamic plan. The Koranting plan is detailed, concise, and adaptable to meet the needs of the future. It includes instituting a national development plan for the next 20, 30, 50 years. I have publicly published my plans on the web at kofikoranting.com. I invite you to explore my detailed policies, plans, blueprints, and philosophy of governance at your leisure and in detail. In my endeavor to change the course of government history in Ghana, I have been focusing on individual issues in detailed talks, speeches, videos, media appearances. It is my firm belief that an educated electorate is the best weapon against tyranny, deception, lies, and a corrupt government. As we approach the beginning of the new year, it reminds me that the 2024 election looms larger with each passing day. There are moving parts to this campaign to bring my message of this independent quest to capture the presidency of Ghana in 2024 through a fair, honest, and overwhelming vote of the people. Over the last few months, my staff and I have concentrated our efforts on platforms that have offered us the most exposure and interaction with citizens. Along with interactive social media presentations, I have appeared on television, radio, and podcasts. At this point in the campaign, it is extremely important to reach the largest audience with the smallest investment. This has meant building a social media presence that reaches both the citizens at home from Accra to Yawkasakrum, as well as those abroad from London to New York. Our interactive presentations on Facebook, Clubhouse, Twitter, TikTok, and our Telegram platforms have enabled us to respond to thousands of questions, ideas, and comments. Let me assure you that I hear your calls and comments to visit the villages Batenonsobeba. Our plan will include in-person visits to every region, city, town, village, and farm possible during the campaign. At this time, with our limited funding, I must concentrate on platforms that offer me the most ears and eyes. This is where you come in. I need each of you who hears my message to spread the word through your city, town, village, and community. Each of you has the power to effect change in your nation. Help me spread the word and the messages. Share your internet connections with others. Translate my English words to Twi and other dialects so that all can hear the word of Ghana's future. Over the last few weeks, I have given detailed video speeches focused on singular subjects. Today, I would like to comment on a variety of subjects that are currently in the news. The largest, hottest story is the 2023 budget. This budget, as in years past during the NPP President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration and that of his predecessor, NDC Standard Bearer John Dramani Mahama, follows a patterned script. The minority opposes key elements of the proposed budget, claiming they are fighting for the interest of the people. Meanwhile, the line items that really matter, such as exorbitant cost of the salaries, benefits, ex gratia, and Article 71 provisions, continue to pass with handshakes and winks in the hallway. The usual collusion between the two parties hit a roadblock in this year's Budget 2023 show when someone missed the rehearsal. The NDC Standard Bearer John Dramani Mahama, who was feeling heat from party bosses over another matter, which we will discuss later, explicitly stated that the MPs and executive government salaries should take a 15% cut. Weeks ago, in his speech of October 30th, 2022, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo announced that after a budget meeting held during a retreat at Peduase Lodge, they agreed that the salaries of ministers and other government officials should be cut by 30%. So now we have an administration suggesting a 30% cut, who will then agree to the 15% cut suggested by the opposition minority. It passes, and everyone goes home happy. That is everyone except the citizens of Ghana at home and abroad who continue to pay the taxes of this game. This is another case of nothing was delivered. A 30% cut turns into a 15% cut in government salaries, with all benefits, ex gratia, and Article 71 payments still hinged on the pre-cut base salary of ministers, MPs, and executives in the top-heavy government of Ghana. The other sleight of hand during the 2023 budget process was the censure of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. This show, complete with the pageantry of a parliamentary fight and a walkout of MPs, was a spectacle that accomplished nothing. The president's cousin finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, claimed to have done no wrong. The majority party MPs of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo absolved him of the accusations. Curtain call, show over. What can I say about this? It is the childish games of those who are playing government while they continue to fill the ATM with the hard-earned resources of Ghanaians on loans from the IMF and other international entities. Here is the thing, my brothers and sisters. While the two parties jointly, not separately, have pushed our nation to the edge of the economic cliff, they continue to play the game of government. This game must end. Neither the NPP or the NDC are interested in you or your children or their children or theirs. They are interested in creating, preserving, and investing generational wealth for themselves and their families using the withdrawals from the Treasury of Ghana through the power of the Parliament and the ministries. Ghana is suffering from the economic crisis from the combined high inflation along with a depreciating cedi. The foundation of this economic crisis is not the fault of one man. It is the product of 2 decades of immorality, corruption, graft, and incompetence. The IMF primed the ATM for withdrawals. They now want to dictate the domestic budget of Ghana. In the national debt and debt to GDP numbers, the interest payments to the IMF are hidden. The IMF loans refilled the ATMs of Parliament, the ministries, and the presidential palace for more withdrawals by those playing government with our life and future. The well has run dry. Now when the MPs and over 100 useless, worthless ministers try to make a withdrawal, the receipt says overdrawn. How will they restock this ATM? They will raise taxes on the already overburdened citizens of Ghana at home and abroad, raise import duties, which now total more than 100% of value on the diaspora who want to help the homeland. This is a fact. They failed to implement the provisions of ROPA as mandated by the High Court in Accra every election because the NPP and NDC fear the independent vote of the diaspora. They cannot buy votes of the diaspora with a bag of rice, a bicycle, or a refrigerator. The diaspora will vote for ideas, a plan, and hope for the citizens of Ghana. A timely example of the burden that the Ghanaian government places on its citizens at home and abroad surfaced while the curtain was falling on the budget show. Michael Blackson, a successful Ghanaian brother who is a real comedian, unlike the president and the members of the NPP and NDC, made the news. In the enterprising spirit of helping those at home, Mr. Blackson was shipping inventory for a new clothing store that his cousins wished to establish in Ghana. With a generous $10,000 investment in the inventory that he shipped home to Ghana, Michael Blackson was shocked by the $10,000 import tax that Ghanaian customs wanted to clear the merchandise through customs. He put it this way in his tweet from his account at Michael Blackson on December 7, 2022 at 10:35 a.m. from Los Angeles, California, where he is currently enhancing his international career. I have cousins in Ghana with no jobs and no income. Because the country lacked jobs, they wanted to open a store if I could help. I purchased about $10,000 of items, and when it arrived through DHL, customs said they will need to pay $10,000 to retrieve. It makes no sense at Ghana Revenue. This is the fate of Ghanaians abroad who have their right to vote stolen by years of inaction by NDC and NPP. Members of the diaspora and Ghanaians who travel abroad for their careers who want to help other brothers and sisters encounter robbery at the border when they ship goods home. Michael followed his original tweet with a warning to others from the same account on the same date at 2:48 p.m. in which he said, "If you are planning on shipping anything to Ghana, be prepared to pay a duty fee as high as the thing you shipped, and if you don't pick them up in a timely fashion, they will auction your belongings." Why? And this was directed to Ghana Revenue. This is not an aberration, my brothers and sisters. It is a fact of how the current NPP and NDC government of Ghana does business, by sucking the resources of industrious citizens to feed the ATM in Parliament. As if decades of secret deals between the NPP and NDC were not enough, as the budget process and the calamity of the walkout of MPs was hitting the news. John Dramani Mahama shocked his party and all Ghanaians with a plea for 10 Ghana cedis. Mr. Mahama, who is skilled at asking for money with all his practice asking the IMF to bail out, his government made a plea for ordinary Ghanaians to fund the NDC Congress. Really, Mr. Mahama? John Mahama, for one, of the few times in his career addressed the ordinary citizen, although what he was asking was utterly absurd. His statement read, I am inviting 500,000 willing Ghanaians, NDC supporters, sympathizers, and friends to donate a minimum of 10 Ghana cedis each to help us fund the Congress. You don't have to be a member of the NDC to donate. The NDC Congress is a party convention to elect their leadership. It does not benefit the nation in any way. With all the money that the NDC has withdrawn from the ATM in the halls of Parliament, can't they fund their own party Congress? Even other NDC stalwarts were appalled by this appeal. Former Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Koko Ayido, expressed his outrage of the appeal by John Dramani Mahama this way. As a former president, the party has given you the opportunity to be part of the Council of Elders for the party. So don't you know the party's constitution? Why are you doing this to the party? My observation, Koko Ayido, is that Mr. Mahama did not know his constitutional obligations under Ghana law when he was president. Why are you surprised that he ignores the constitution of his own party? Present and former NDC leaders, MPs, ministers, and the former president all will be attendees of the Congress, scheduled for December 17th, 2022. Together and separately, they have collected enough ex gratia payments to fund the Congress out of their own pockets. As an independent candidate who has not and will not withdraw from the ATM in Parliament, my campaign would benefit more from a 10 cedi donation from 500,000 Ghanaians than the NDC. The plea by Mr. Mahama shows us all that they will take millions, they will take thousands, they will take hundreds, and even the last 10 cedis when the well dries out. A Congress funded by the people with 10 cedis donation should fund a youth convention to discuss the ideas, goals, hopes, and dreams of the younger generation of our Ghana. One thing is sure, Ghana needs a new vision of government based on serving, not stealing. I am committed to forming a government that will welcome home the diligent, successful citizens of the diaspora. We should allow all those in the diaspora to bring their savings and assets home to Ghana tax-free. Today, the NDC and NPP are committed to restructuring the debt to satisfy the IMF for yet another loan. What Ghana really needs to restructure is the tax system from bottom to top. We must restructure a tax system that welcomes innovative ideas. We need a government that opens the door and puts seats at the table for those in private enterprise who have the vision to move our nation forward. Ghana needs us sons and daughters who have become successful to be inspirations and guides to the youth of our nation. Founder and CEO of Wonder World Estates and Petronia City Development Company Limited, Nana Kwame Bediako Cheddar, is a son of Ghana with a head full of ideas and the power to make them happen. He needs the support of an adaptable government that will clear the obstacles of bureaucracy. Visionaries who are ready and able to bring projects that will employ Ghanaians, teach new skills, and encourage progress deserves a government with the same goals. Nana Kwame Bediako has a plan to build sustainable communities with the power of private enterprise. He should have the encouragement and help of an appreciative government. A key to changing Ghana is to offer our youth the opportunity to work with homegrown successful entrepreneurs who can share their knowledge and experience to the next generation of success stories. As president, I am ready to lead a government that will partner with Nana Kwame Bediako and others in private enterprise to make their development visions a reality. Private enterprise and successful people who have created wealth are essential to building the opportunities for our youth. It is imperative that the government of Ghana begins to serve homegrown ventures, capitalists, who will provide jobs, careers, opportunities, knowledge, and encouragement to the future of our nation, the youth. The future of Ghana is its youth. An effective, streamlined government with a decisive mission to serve the people is the key to opening the doors of leadership to our successful sisters and brothers in every social class. We must welcome home the diaspora, who are the foundation of the middle class and the promise of an entrepreneurial economy. We must encourage and allow each generation to teach the next. Doctors, merchants, farmers, business people, nurses, comedians, teachers, police officers, plumbers, electricians, financiers, real estate developers, and every Ghanaian need to be a welcome addition to a successful government. Ghana does not need any more vampire politicians who suck the blood from the people and the resources of our nation. I tell you, my friends, neighbors, and fellow citizens from every region, to fix the country requires no more graft, no more corruption, no more secret deals by two parties who pretend to offer a choice. We need a government that works for every person who calls Ghana home. You, as the promise of the future, must elect a new vision. Let us change the future today by ending the government of corruption. In 2024, vote to end ex gratia, destroy Article 71, lower taxes, encourage growth, and put in place a government of professionals. I look forward to the coming months of this campaign where we can discuss these ideas and how together we get to a new Ghana that addresses shared wealth, a prosperous nation, and bold initiatives. I challenge the NPP and NDC to debate my ideas openly and publicly and defend their policies to all Ghanaians. Join me as I travel the nation to discuss and sharpen a vision for a new youth-driven Ghana that is the future of the African continent. Explore my ideas, policies, and vision for a new Ghana government at kofikranting.com. Join the conversation on a new Ghana on Telegram at t.me/KK2024. Donate at kofikranting.com/donate. Thank you. Asumdue nka wo ne w'abusuafo. God bless our homeland Ghana.